Weekly Take, episode 43 is finally here. Thank you guys so much for listening. Wow, 43 episodes. This is insane. Actually, today, let's see, today is September 13th, Friday, 2019. As of this recording, it is 11:49 p.m. We are actually 10 minutes away from being one whole year of Weekly Take being in your guys' life. I never thought it would get to this moment. It takes forever. 43 episodes throughout the whole year. I am a little upset because I am 9 weeks short of 52, and that means I'm 9 episodes short of giving you guys once a week. Life came in the way, I guess, of those 9 weeks, but nonetheless, we are back at it at episode 43 for upcoming week 2 NFL Sunday. This episode was supposed to be released on Thursday, but we, school got in the way, and right now school is what I'm focusing on. Everyone kind of has their focus. But right now, Weekly Take is back in action right now, and thank you guys so much for listening. So to start off the show, since it's episode 43, I looked up people with the best numbers that have played in sports. I got one basketball player and one football player. I'm going to start off with the football player. Being a Baltimore Raven fan, I saw plenty of this guy. His name is Troy Polamalu. He was a safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was 5'10", weighed 207 pounds, had 32 interceptions, 3 total TDs, 8 Pro Bowls, two-time Super Bowl champ in 2006 and 2009. Sorry, Seattle fans, he did get one of those Super Bowls against you. A lot of people, don't really believe in that Pittsburgh Steeler win. I surely don't. But nonetheless, Troy Polamalu has 2 rings, and he did play for Pittsburgh for the entirety of his career. Shout out to him. I'm not a big Steeler fan, but I could respect game. And then we also got a Seattle Supersonic. We got Jack Sikma, who averaged 14.8 points, 11 rebounds in the 1979 postseason. That's what he averaged. And he was a big part of the team that led the Sonics to the championship. I was about to say one and only, but since, we have to count Oklahoma City's, we got to count their finals that they win against LeBron. Today's format. Today, guys, we're going to be going over NFL Week 1 and what I believed happened. Then we're going to go into Week 2, and then I had this cool idea. So I got all 32 teams in this bag, and I'm going to pick 2 teams out of here, and then I'm going to, go on a spiel of why I like the first team I pick, and the next team I pick, I'm going to say why I hate. So I could get, my favorite teams, I could get my least favorite teams, but all 32 teams are in here. I made sure I double-checked that. All 32 are in there. All 8 divisions, and, every team that you like, there's a chance of me pulling them. So be ready for that one. That one is at the end of the show. No voicemails today. Remember, to leave your voicemail to be on the show is 425-320-3641. Again, 425-320-3641. And you can leave your message and tell me what you guys thought about every week and what, say you saw a cool play and you're like, God, I want to tell Dom about this. Call it in. Get you on the show. So let's start with NFL Week 1. NFL Week 1 started with the Packers beating the Bears 10-3 in Chicago. Packers with a new and improved coach. This was a big win, especially to go hold the Bears to 3. I thought the Bears defense could do a little bit better than this, but they didn't. Aaron Rodgers showed that he couldn't really get it to Davante Adams. Davante Adams was being covered by 3 people. For those of you guys who do not know who Davante Adams is he is the first string wide receiver on the Green Bay Packers right now. He's above Scantling. Jimmy Graham is their tight end. They got a lot of guys over there. No more Randall Cobb. He's now in Dallas. So, the Green Bay, they were only able to score 10, but, win's a win. They got to win in Soldier Field. Moving into the next game, we had the Rams beating the Panthers by 3. This game, the thing is about the Rams is I have a hard time trusting Jared Goff in anything. I think if any other quarterback was in the Super Bowl, they maybe would have, won. He chose the wrong game to really be bad in, and that was the game he chose to be difficult in. So yeah, and then Cam Newton is hard to look at right now. The Thursday night game, we'll get to that game, just wasn't pretty either. He really wasn't. He was getting kind of bailed out, to be honest with you. My guy, I'm a huge Cam Newton fan and always will be, but it was really crazy to see, Cam Newton not playing at the level that we once saw. That guy literally carried a team to the Super Bowl, so it's hard to really see him play at the level he's playing at now. And I still believe Cam Newton's hurt, to be honest with you. I know I'm making an excuse, but come on, dude. That guy's he's too good to be playing the way he is right now. And I know Cam Newton's been in the league, 8 years now? Because he was drafted the year before Russell Wilson. Yeah, he's been in the league quite a long time now. Wow. I'm getting old. So in the next game, we had Washington Redskins at the Eagles. They were up 17-0 against the Eagles, and the Eagles just came back in the second half. The Redskins, they looked good with Case Keenum and everything, and I know I've hated on Case Keenum a lot in this podcast, but he kind of, wanted to hush me up, I guess, and play his heart out. So good job to Case Keenum and the Redskins for, putting up a fight for the first half, but the Eagles come up with the win. At home, Redskins fall 27-32. Buffalo Bills came and beat the Jets. They were down all game and came and surprised Sam Darnold and the Jets. C.J. Mosley had a pick 6 in this game, just to go and rub it into Baltimore for saying, at least they paid me kind of ordeal. I don't know if there's bad blood or not. I think it was cool to see C.J. Mosley. They're going to do great over there, especially with him and Jamal Adams over there. They got the guy from Alabama, the DT. I think it's Quinnen Williams. I don't want to butcher his name, but I think that's how you say it. They got a lot of great guys over there, especially on that defensive side of the ball. Currently, Sam Darnold is out with mono. We will get more to that on week 2, but that is an FYI for all those people who want to hear a little bit more Jets early news. Moving into the next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons against the Minnesota Vikings. The Atlanta Falcons ended up losing 12-28 against the Vikings at home. The Vikings were home. Kirk Cousins was playing at a great level. Dalvin Cook came out and played great. Adam Thielen did great. Kyle Rudolph came and played. Had actually some pretty big blocks. But I look at this too, and I am another non-believer in Matt Ryan. They looked sluggish, but maybe they could bounce back, and they're one of those teams that probably could bounce back. But at the same time, man, come on, Atlanta. Got a Julio Jones, man. You guys should not be struggling to score. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson put on a show with Marquise Brown, scoring a total of 59 points against the Dolphins. And, non-biased Raven fan here, I look at this game. If you score 59 on any team in the NFL, that's got to be, congratulated, man. They were doing everything was going great. They even faked a punt, and that worked great. Everything looks solid on the offensive end for Baltimore, and defensive wise, I just think I can't wait to see what the Ravens' true test is. I'm not saying Miami's a terrible team, but they're really not, in the top tier of teams. The Dolphins couldn't get anything going. I would say start Rosen now and just try to, fix something, see what they could fix. Kansas City Chiefs then went and played Jacksonville at Jacksonville. The Chiefs ended up winning this game 40-26. For those of you who don't know, the Chiefs are a very powerful team. I'm not a big fan of the Chiefs, but Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball very well. Has Sammy Watkins. No more Tyreek Hill over there. He's injured for I think about 6 to 8 weeks with strain and something. I don't really remember. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, I thought could hold up with them with Boye and Jalen Ramsey, but it was just not looking too great, to be honest with you. Sorry, I had something in my throat. I gotta get a drink of water real quick. God, that's just one of those things. It's one of those things that gets you when you're talking straight. So then we had the Tennessee. Okay, here it is right here. Weekly take. The Cleveland Browns lost the game to the Tennessee Titans. Where's all my Cleveland fans at? Where are all my Cleveland fans at? Awfully quiet right now. The Titans ended up scoring 43 and to the Browns 13 at Cleveland. I don't want to hear excuses that they're just figuring everything out. I'm not saying that they're out of it, who knows? Tennessee could be very well, very, very good. But, when you look at this team, everyone was hyping up the Browns all fucking offseason, and then they come and lose like that. So, where are the Browns at? Where are you Browns fans at? Indianapolis ended up losing to the Chargers. That was a pretty good game. Phillip Rivers just put on a show. And here's the thing with Phillip Rivers. For those of you who don't know who Phillip Rivers is the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. I am now getting better at that instead of saying San Diego. San Diego is where they previously played. Phillip Rivers is literally he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of our time, but it sucks to be him because the time that we're in has Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and then some people, then you got these mobile quarterbacks that are coming before Phillip Rivers. You got Russell Wilson, not before his time, but that people think of before his talent. And he's just been one of those guys that's always been swept under the rug. And I get it, but it just sucks to see, a good talented player like him get swept under the rug like that. But the Chargers start off 1-0. Bengals went into Seattle and took the L by 1 point for my Seahawks fans. That was a nail biter. Don't lie to me and say you weren't sitting there hoping John Ross wouldn't score that last TD, man. There's some crazy calls going on both ways. Cincinnati's offense didn't look terrible, to be honest with you. If they could play like that every game, who knows what they'll do. Seattle looked all right. Offensively, they needed to get things going until before the third quarter at least. But that's just how the Seahawks play. The Seahawks play is they don't try for 3 quarters, and then they somehow score 35 in the fourth quarter. And it's one of the most entertaining games. There's always a really entertaining game to watch. And that's not just because I'm from the Seattle area. It's just because it's true. It's just like when you turn on the Seahawks in the fourth quarter, something crazy is going to go down. Like that Green Bay playoff game when they were down 24 and they came back, got the onside kick, and Seattle was going nuts. Then they threw it to Curse. Oh, my God. That was insane. Dude, that was my second yawn. That's not. Oh, yeah. Guys, it is 12:01 a.m., September 14th. It is now the 1-year anniversary of Weekly Take. Woo! Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to the celebration more later. San Francisco 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston is just not looking too great over in Tampa Bay right now. San Francisco's defense looked great. Jimmy G's out there slinging it. The 49ers, I think, they looked pretty great, but that's kind of that score doesn't really represent how their win was to me. I kind of watched that game all the way through, and I just those last touchdowns were kind of okay, but they was kind of close throughout the game. So the 49ers start off 1-0, and they win in Tampa Bay. Wow, good for them. New York Giants played the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Dak Prescott looked like a $40 million guy. Dak Prescott's whole ordeal of wanting to get paid $40 million a year, if he plays like that every game, he will get it. But it was the New York Giants, and I'm a big New York Giants fan. But they looked great. They were still working Zeke back into the play calling, which is so dumb. I think Ezekiel Elliott is my favorite player in the NFL, and he's a Dallas Cowboy. And that sucks because I'm not a big Cowboy fan at all, but I really like Ezekiel Elliott's game. So yeah, Dallas wins this one 35-17. Giants, they couldn't really put anything together. Evan Ingram came out and had a good game, but they don't really have many people to throw it to over in New York right now, so it's just one of those things. What else do we got here? We got Detroit going into Arizona, and that was a tie. Wow, just what I fucking want. or frickin', a tie week 1. Can we get rid of the ties, NFL? There's nothing interesting. I'm not going to watch a game for 3.5 hours to see it end in a tie. If I wanted that, I'd go watch soccer. Like, can we get rid of ties? I get the player safety thing, but come on, man. I'm 0-1. That is one of the most ugliest things I've seen, man. Other than, like, I saw a person pick their fucking booger today, man, like, in class. Like, that was, I'd rather look at that than see a tie record in the NFL. I'm sorry. The Pittsburgh Steelers ended up playing the Patriots Sunday night, and wow, this is one of those games I, like, went downstairs and didn't watch after the first quarter. It was one of those games I was bored out of my mind. They should have saved this game for, like, December, that would have been at least a little more interesting. I would have rather this game end in a tie. I don't like either of these teams, because they're just always the AFC head of the house. And everyone's like, oh, Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots. Okay, but Patriots none the end. Wow, none the end. They looked great. Tom Brady looked good, and then they only got better. They got AB coming to New England. How did Bill Belichick manage to get that? I do not know. I feel like AB planned it. More than I look at it now, more than I kind of think about it, I think AB planned it. I think he planned to throw a tantrum in Oakland and then get released and go somewhere like New England. What if he would have went to the Chiefs? Oh, my God. Can you imagine if AB went to the Chiefs? Or if he would have went to Green... I wanted him to go to Green Bay. That would be super cool. Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown. That would have been cool. But it did not happen. He's in New England. That sucks. We got the Houston Texans against the Saints. This was the most interesting game of week 1 by far. This game was fun to watch. What a good game to kick off Monday night. I would have been proud with just this game. Wow, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, at the end of the game put on a show. He literally scored in 2 plays, but he left a minute, and I think it was either a minute and 4 or 58 seconds and a timeout left with Drew Brees at quarterback, and he's going to march down the field in New Orleans for his fans and get that win. So, that was Deshaun Watson's fault. He should have waited a little bit more time to score, but, you got to take those scores, especially when you haven't been scoring that easy. Throw it up to Hopkins. Hopkins, last year, DeAndre Hopkins, I think he's the best receiver in the league, and I still do. He last year went a whole year without making a dropped catch. That's insane. So he caught it every time, but he dropped one opening year this year. But he said he doesn't really care because now he got it out of the way, and he could just focus on being a good receiver, which is cool. Then we had the Denver Broncos with Joe Flacco and Oakland Raiders playing against each other. Derek Carr actually looked pretty good. Like, I imagine this Oakland team, if they had AB, they would have been looking pretty decent. But, again, the Raiders, Nick Chubb and Von Miller on the Broncos and all, but their offense looked slow. Phillip Lindsay didn't look too great. I'm having a hard time believing in the Broncos. Their front office is, kind of lopsided. Elway, I'm not a big fan of Elway in the GM side of things. He's a great player, but I don't know as a GM. That was week 1. There was a lot of fun. So for the teams that won were the Packers, the Rams, the Eagles, the Bills, the Vikings, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Titans, the Chargers, Seahawks, Niners, Cowboys, Patriots, Saints, and Raiders. And then we had the Lions and Cardinals tie. So if you heard any of those teams get listed, that is your team, and they won. Give me a hurrah. Yeah. We're getting sound effects for this show here soon. And, the call-in button's always available. Remember to call in. Let's go. So for NFL Week 2, we have the Buccaneers ended up beating the Panthers 20-14. Again, I attribute this to Cam not playing too great. He threw it 51 times. I believe he converted on 25 of them. That's not that good if you're, Cam Newton. Cam Newton would make those plays 4 years ago. Easy. I'm not even doubting he would make those plays. But right now, he's not looking too great. Cardinals at Ravens. I got to go Ravens, just how they played against Miami. I'd be kind of dumb to pick the Cardinals right now. And there's just no way I could pick them. Sorry for drinking into the mic, but I gotta have some water. Lamar Jackson, I think, is going to have a good connection with Marquise Brown if he decides to play. I heard he is injured a little bit. Mark Andrews, I hope, has a feast on points too. I got to go Baltimore this game. The next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys at Redskins. I'm going Cowboys. Dude, they looked great. If they could play even a smidge of like that, I think Elliott's going to get things going. The Washington Redskins just lost Darius Geis, so I think AP or Chris Thompson will take the load of the running back load. So if you guys are in fantasy and your league is not on top of things, go check out AP or Chris Thompson. Try to get a running back, arguably 1 or 2 split. He's a good pickup if you can get him, or trade for him possibly. Could be a good flex spot. Colts at Titans. I'm gonna go Colts. I just think they played a good game against LA, and I think they're gonna be a little more hungry for the win. I don't really know how to trust Marcus Mariota and Derrick Henry yet. Maybe if they win 2 in a row, I'll start picking them a little more. But until they do that and prove me wrong, Tennessee's the hardest team in the world to pick. If you guys remember from Weekly Take last year, I could never pick the Tennessee Titans game right, and neither can me and my grandpa. We actually do picks every week. Shout out to him. And I don't know. I think we went Indy this week. Seahawks at Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Seattle because Pittsburgh just looked like they got trounced on from New England. And maybe if, Seattle could pick up a little things like that, play them like that, it's over. I'm going Seattle against Pittsburgh. Buffalo at New York. I'm going to go New York. Yep, I'm going New York. I'm sticking with my gut. Put Daniel Jones in. Try it out. Maybe they want to lose a couple more before they're like, all right, you're out of here, Eli. But put Daniel Jones in. Try it out. Evan Ingram, throw it up. Sterling Shepard. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I'm going Giants. San Francisco 49ers at the Bengals. I'm going Bengals. If they played like they did against Seattle, John Ross plays as great as he did, Andy Dalton gets it to him, their running game stays consistent, and their defense plays like they did against Seattle, they're going to beat San Francisco, no doubt. I'm not even worried about that game. The LA Chargers play the Lions. I don't like the Lions, so I'm still gonna try to stay unbiased. Even my unbiased opinion, I still would go LA with Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen over there. Hunter Henry is out 6 to 8 weeks, which is a bummer because he can just not seem to stay healthy, and I just want to see him play, and I'm sure a lot of his family does too, and all the Chargers fans, and the people who drafted him in fantasy. Make sure you go drop him if you're in fantasy. Hunter Henry is the San Diego, LA Chargers tight end. Minnesota Vikings at Green Bay. This game will be on Fox, so people will be able to watch this game. If you have standard cable, I don't know if you have Red Zone or anything, or if you're obviously in the Vikings or Green Bay time code, you could see them there, or their region or whatever. I'm gonna go Vikings. They whooped at Atlanta, and I think Atlanta has just as much as an explosive offense as Green Bay, so I think they could figure that out. So I'm gonna go Vikings beating Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Then we have the Jaguars at Texans. I'm going Texans. I can't pick. AJ Boye, the second best corner on the team, or I think he's their outside. Him and Jalen are both their outside guys. AJ Boye is actually injured right now. Who knows if he's going to play? And if he does not play, I'm definitely not picking Jacksonville. If Boye comes back, I'll think about it, maybe switching it. But for now, I'm going Houston with Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller. I just really like that team over there in Houston. Then we got Patriots at Miami. I'm going to go Patriots. I shouldn't really have to say much more. If there's people want to get out of Miami. There's turmoil over there right now. Nobody even wants to be a Dolphin right now. I think the Dolphins are like the new Browns. They don't got a lot of players right now. They all want to leave. They're going to rebuild, and then they're going to come back in 5 years, and then everyone's like, oh, I've been a Dolphins fan forever. I know one Miami fan, and yeah, he's not annoying. Chiefs at Raiders. Chiefs, I'm not picking the Raiders. Next. Yeah, sorry, Raider fans. Okay. Patrick Mahomes is going to light up the Raiders. Travis Kelce is going to get open. Sammy Watkins is going to make plays. Williams is going to get open on screen passes. I don't see Derek Carr throwing on the